Hi Aquarius, welcome back. This is Mary Ellen coming to you from Moonrise Cottage for your May 2017 Soul Tarot reading. I am using the Celtic Wisdom Tarot deck developed by Caitlin Matthews. For those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. It's really wonderful to have you here. I am a clairvoyant individual with a lot of different kinds of clairvoyant gifts, if you will. And I have made a commitment to step in to YouTube, which is something that I never imagined, honestly, that I would ever do, in order to complete a commitment that I made to help Spirit get the messages out to the collective. So, reminder for all, 2017 is a year of great shift and change, and we are each experiencing that in our own set point, okay? So for returning users, welcome back. I'm so glad to have you here. I want to take just a brief moment to thank everyone for the donations that are coming in and for the profound personal readings that have been coming out. You know, I've been getting a lot of requests, and I am just so honored to be with you in these ways. There is an incredible shift happening, and so many people are feeling it. So please don't hesitate. I am continuing to, hone my schedule and etc. to be as available as possible for personal readings. I have changed it up a little bit. I will send you some information. My email is in the description box below the video. So if you're desirous of that kind of thing, just send me an email. It may take me a couple days to get back to you, but I will. All right? So, Aquarius, I want to jump in. That's amazing. You know, the messages from Spirit has shifted this week, and thinking back, I was looking back at your video from last month, because I kind of had an inkling, if you know what I mean. And so last month, Spirit was talking about correspondence, about wanting to have letters and wanting your correspondence from inside of you in response to the things that are coming out, okay? And this month, things have started to shift in a way that's really profound. And for you, I actually think it started last month. And the word that I'm hearing now this month is prophecy. So we've come through from last year into this year of new beginnings, right? Go online and look at the numerology, okay? Check it out a little bit. I don't want to spend any time on it, but if you haven't. And then we had these intense eclipses that opened a portal in order to bring the shift and change that is prophesied for us as beings. That's what I'm hearing. For you, clearly, that is true. Last month, right here, you had the soul, a soul journey. And we saw this incredible journey, really beautiful, about regestation and rebirth. Here, and the sacred shamaness at the end here, in order to release you from this part of your process that you were coming through, in order to release, to gain a new set point, a new birth, if you will. And it had to do with the strategy of life, how you were approaching life. That was the outcome. Looking at the way, given the energy set point we have, the way we approach life. That's what's coming through. So this month, a continuation of that journey, okay? Pardon me. Right at the center, we have the warrior of art. And given the fact that the changer was with you last month, creating this immense change, okay, no surprise on a certain level. There was a very deep reading last month. Do you see? When you popped through, remember that goddess who had this baby in her arms, swaddled in a blue blanket? There you are. That's you, Aquarius. You've come through. It's just... it is so soft and beautiful. The feeling here is wonderful. And remember that woman who held that baby? She had ravens flying around, okay? The ability to go back and forth across the veil. Look at the doves now. Look. Okay. That image in the background is actually an illustration of the sacred portal at Newgrange. Okay? The portal at Newgrange is 5,000 years old. And this warrior, the warrior of art, has arisen, has come out of that place. That's the phrase that's coming through. All right? So it means standing, having come through to this lifetime in these moments, having come out of that sacred place of ancient wisdom. That's a phrase that's coming through. And you are standing here, a warrior, no shoes, no weapons, spiritual knowledge, spiritual activation, in line with your senses, doing work here in the world simply by walking through your life in this way, activated in this way. Magic in your hands. Okay? It's a beautiful message to have laying over the top of your reading. So, quite clearly, based on what happened last month, we're going to see some more about that. All right? So let's see what's... Yep. Look. Aquarius, you know, we have come into the age of Aquarius at long last. And you are here. That's what Spirit's telling me. You are here. This is very profound. Okay? This is a Major Arcana card. This is the Shaper. Okay? Look. That is the Sacred Mother, whose job it is to help souls transmute. You see? Back and forth. That's the second time you've had this message. And by so doing, you know, in so doing, having this enormous amount of abundance, and we're talking about spiritual abundance, okay? Being deep in your spiritual identity and the abundance that brings to you as a person, but also here to the planet in all kinds of ways. This is a very important seminal moment for you, Aquarius, and I want to make sure that you very deeply understand it. Okay? Aquarius, I paused the video because I was getting a really loud push from Spirit and asking me to please read messages to you, just to read messages. And I was hearing it, you know, sort of hesitating, trying to figure out what that was all about. And so I paused the video. I am actually going to read to you right from the book of the Celtic Wisdom Tarot. There's a very loud message Spirit is saying for you this month, okay? Let me see if I can scroll on in this while I'm reading it to you. And, you know, if you haven't looked at last month, Spirit says pause this video, hold off a minute, and go look at the last month and the month before if you have time, and then come back here, okay? Alright, so the Shaper. The divinatory meaning of this card is about abundance, wealth, fulfillment, reverence for the earth, motherhood, fertility, loving guardianship, honor, health, harmony and wholeness, and emotional growth. Okay? So the Shaper shows the Triple Mother, who was venerated by the Celts throughout Europe and was often shown bearing babies, fruit, grain, and bread. The Triple Mothers maintain the fertility of the land, the life of its animals, and its people, and was often venerated as the guardian of the land's sovereignty. The Triple Mothers maintain their loving watch over all life, transmuting the soul from death into life. The three birds in this card are traditionally the companions of the Celtic goddess of life and death. They are also forms that many semi-mortal divine women take. Hawthorn, which is the branches that we see in the card, I'll hold it up for you again when I'm done, okay? Hawthorn is associated with the burgeoning of spring. Its clouds of white blossoms appear on or around Beltane, and its sexual scent reminds us of the May revels when young lovers honor the time of life's renewal. The Shaper of growth gives life to all that is. The Triple Mothers are the midwives of the soul. nurturing it with qualities that enable it to respond to the good things of life. They also imbue the soul with its instinct or mother wit, the basic common sense by which we are protected and sustained. And Spirit asked you, what is your soul seeking? So again, having that amazing journey last month, I don't know why I keep saying last night, sorry. A soul transition, a regestation. And here, right in the center, I mean, these messages really are turning towards prophecy. That's how it feels to me. So, given what was happening the last couple of months, to have the sacred mother, the triple mother, the triple goddess, if you will, right at the center of this reading, very profound. And this is the energy that's guiding. As you come through, as your soul comes through, regestates, comes back to this realm. Okay? Let's see if I can get the camera to focus on this. As you come back, you are being accompanied, and Spirit wants you to know the way in which you are accompanied, okay? And the energy that you travel with. This is the energy you travel with, the aspect, okay, that we're going to be talking about, because this is laying over the top of the reading. And so Spirit is speaking to you very directly about your evolutionary change, about your growth, about that new baby that was standing right here in the arms of the goddess, remember, last month? Okay? So, let me scroll out before I forget. So let's see what's here. All right. So this is coming up a lot. This is the dialogue of skill. Spirit wants you to know that you are being accompanied while you take this shift and change. Because Spirit's been waiting for us. I think I've been talking about that off and on. Okay, you see how... So this is you. This is a depiction of you. You are the one who's shape-shifting and changing, okay? That is Spirit. See how Spirit has its arm around you? Like, so happy that you've arrived. That's the message that's coming through. I'll talk about the card in a moment. But the message that I'm getting is just this love and care for your new set point. Very happy that you have come home. That's the message, okay? And here to guide you, here to embrace you, and to guide you, and to continue to help you remember yourself through the soul journey you had last month and the regestation, and now arriving here in this new way. It's really profound, Aquarius, okay? So, this is a story about Merlin. Merlin was lost to himself, and it was the sacred oracle that actually went to search him out. Merlin was kind of wandering around. And this person was a very dear friend, and he was a sacred oracle, very learned. And he went to find Merlin, and he kind of brought him back, right? He had a long conversation with him, long dialogue, but all the things that had happened in his life, over his lifespan is the phrase that's coming through. And so, in order to help him remember himself. And so that's what, you remember, Spirit was talking about correspondence. That's the process. And Spirit is just reiterating. These cards are coming through to help you remember yourself, because there's a lot of love and there's a lot of need for you to show up. And you have come through again this portal. So as you come back into yourself, this is where you reside. See, this is a number 2 card. This is a number 3 card. And this is dialogue with Spirit, and this is courtship. Courtship with the knowledge that is being revealed to you because of this shift and change. And, really beautiful. Look at that. Okay? That is you. Standing before the spirit realm, talking with angels, really, and offering gifts in gratitude because you have become so activated. And, your happiness and your joy is bringing you to this place of being able and willing to return the energy that has been given to you. All right? That's what's coming through about this. So, This is really a beautiful journey, very soft. And look at that. This is the combat of knowledge, okay? So, you know, part of this change and this shift is that these kinds of things have to move off. And I'm not sure if you've seen this card in your readings. This is the combat of knowledge, okay? This is a number 5 card. So I see that this concept is developing. Your growth is moving rather quickly, all right? From this new set point, coming through for a new type of life, moving on to a dialogue of skill, a courtship of knowledge, and now combat with that knowledge, okay? So this woman, very pregnant, and that's the message, right? This is a very pregnant moment of intense change through a process. This is a prediction for you to get the message to you clearly that there is a positive outcome to this journey for yourself, okay? Yes, there is a birth happening. We've seen it in all of these ways. And it has been by virtue of the trials and tribulations that you've been coming through, that we've all been coming through in our human destiny. There have been many challenges. There have been many things that have caused us to feel stress and worry and lack of support, if you get my meaning. And we held up, it's interesting, here's the phrase that's coming through. We held up our end of the bargain through all of these challenges, continuing to rededicate ourselves, okay? Which has brought us to this, there you go, brought us to this place. You know, Aquarius, this is a really amazing journey this month. Very amazing. So, having come through in this way, you have reached an augury, okay? That is a very new set point. I've been talking about this since I started the video, right? So, Spirit wants you to know in these ways that are really clear. So please just gaze into this line. That is what Spirit wants from you at the moment. All right, that is the augury of battle. I don't know if this is going to work. I'm going to scroll in a little bit just to help you see it really clearly. Okay, the augury of battle is a prophecy. Any augury is about prophetic information, okay? It is clearly another indication of a brand new step, a brand new set point. Transformation continuing, but in a profound way. That is the sacred sword of victory, okay? This is a magical sword. And what this person is doing in this moment is becoming ready. This is just the moment before a sacred warrior develops enough to reach out and grasp the sword. It is standing before you, and you are standing before it. And you see the beautiful city in the background? There's a lot of purity in this card. Beautiful sky. Very interesting, isn't it? And a lot of happiness, a lot of joy on this person's face, having come to this moment. And joy from Spirit. You see the bird, the little bird of happiness sitting on the head there? It's gorgeous. Ready to grasp it. The moment before you become ready. So that's a very interesting progression. And it sits just above the sacred dialogue, okay? So Spirit clearly wants you to have the sacred dialogue as you prepare. That's the phrase that is coming through. So the cards are coming out in this way to help you understand that there is more preparation, okay? Going to be some more challenges. It's okay, don't worry about it. Look at look at all the bounty you have. Look at all the support. Don't worry about that. You know, this is our human existence. This is going to continue for a while. This is the world around us, the things that we see and feel and hear. I'm at the point almost where I just refuse to watch the news because it pulls me off my spot. You know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to go there, okay? So, the augury of battle supported by this sacred dialogue with Spirit and with those around you who understand the process that you are in. Okay? So Spirit is in this dialogue with you about this prophecy in order to help you remember yourself so that you can take up your place as a sacred warrior. All right? So let's see what is here. This is really beautiful, Aquarius. Yep. Okay, so interesting. Very interesting. That is the judgment of knowledge. So, you know, you're going to have this dialogue and courtship with knowledge and some combat. You know, you might have some arguments inside yourself. Don't feel as though you have to be perfect, a pure being at every moment. You know, we're human. Things happen. I argue with Spirit. Believe me, I'm an Aries rising. Okay? You know, Spirit's just saying, understand where you're going. Don't worry about these moments because you're just moving forward. All right? There might be some bumps in the road. In light of this card, I find this next card very interesting. Okay? Look at that. The judgment of knowledge. Okay? So combat of knowledge and judgment of knowledge. There is a challenge that's going to come to you as you step onto this new pathway. Okay? Very definitely. See that guy? Look what's going on in that scene. I'm going to explain it to you in a minute. So, it's interesting that these two are here together because it's a very similar concept. Okay? Both of these cards indicate some conflict and some disquiet and some upset. Both of them tell a story about a person who was sort of put on a spot, okay? Put in a certain situation that they didn't really ask for, that was thrust upon them and brought to them some intense challenge and some strife and some upset, okay? So this woman, this is a sacred goddess. She married a king. He had a bunch of racehorses. And she said, yes, I'll marry you. Don't reveal my identity. Okay? And we'll have this nice life together. And of course, you know, it's a fairy tale, so you know what happened. He was having a party with some of his friends, and they started talking about who had the fastest horse. And because he had to brag about it, he said, well, you know, I have the fastest horse, but my wife, who's a magical goddess, can beat any horse. I mean, she can't, there's no contest. And so, of course, he then created a wager with his friends that compelled his wife to run a race with a racehorse while heavily pregnant. Now, can you imagine how angry any woman in the universe would be? Can you imagine the rage? I can. Wow. So she said, you know, honey, this is not the moment for that, okay? And first of all, you were supposed to keep my name a secret, and it was, you know, it was kind of the end of that relationship, okay? I won't go into the long story, but she did win the race. She did run the race. She won, and when she reached the finish line, she gave birth, and kind of put a spell on that husband, and he was vanquished, okay? So that's that story. This story about the judgment of knowledge is about a man who has some social standing in the community. He has wealth. He has a certain kind of power. People think well of him. There were some individuals who were resentful and developed a scheme to steal from him and cheat him in a secret way, okay? So they were found out. That's why the fractures. You see the fractures in the card? Okay? Basically, they were found out. He found out about this, and he went back to them and said, hey, give me back my possessions. What's up with that? What are you doing? I think there were 3 folks. They were turned into beasts. A spell was put upon them so that they had to walk with their malfeasance and their ill intent on the outside for the rest of their days, and they were cast out into the forest. Okay? So it's interesting that this message is here in this way. Do you see the way this is lined up? So, Spirit wants you to know, you do have power. Despite the races you might be forced to win. Despite the things that the world might thrust upon you. This is our human walk. And the message that I'm getting is don't worry about it. Okay? Until we transform into the spirit realm, we're going to have a human existence. And it's going to include some of these things. But this place where you are now brings to you a form of stable power so that these kinds of things, so that people can't mess with you in a certain way. That's the message that I'm getting. It's really interesting. And you see this augury of battle. So part of the message is that these things begin to pass off. And here's the message. These things will affect you less profoundly because your attention and your energy will be here in these ways. You won't even, vibrationally, you will be less available to those kinds of events. That's the message. Okay? So let's see. Yep. Interesting. And the courtship of battle, sitting next to the judgment of knowledge, okay, reflecting this. So this is also, it's really interesting. Each one of these cards shows something difficult. And each one of them has a positive outcome. A very positive outcome, okay? Very interesting. So on the spiritual realm, there's a couple messages coming through about this. This is the courtship of battle, okay? So you have the judgment, the courtship of knowledge, the courtship of battle, the judgment of knowledge, okay, and the combat of knowledge. So, I don't see the card on the table, but this is almost to me as speaking of an initiatory process, kind of, right? Okay, so see her, she's not happy, right? She's not a happy camper. She's about to be washed away in the river. These two people have been doing battle. They are sacred warriors. One is a man, one is a woman. Okay? See the warming hut in the background? There's safety coming. Things are going to be okay. So, through the combat of the battle that was occurring, pardon me, I misspoke. I'm sorry, I'm getting a download. All right, through the courtship of this battle, there was a relationship that developed, okay, between these two warriors. They were opposing warriors. And when the moment came, and they came to really appreciate and respect each other because they had been doing battle, having a courtship, coming to know each other through the battles they were having. And when the moment came when one of them was about to be washed away and all was lost, the other warrior put the sword into the ground and reached out and caught this person's wrist, and she actually extended her sword, it's a little hard to see, so that he could grasp it, and she pulled herself up, hanging onto the ballast of the sword. So, extending one's weapon in order to come to a place of safety rather than battle. There's a lot of prophecy in this card as well. It's very interesting how this is coming out. Actually, what I'm getting about this is the Spirit's telling me that, in the spiritual realm, you see how this is all about the spiritual realm, and then suddenly we see this, the combat of knowledge, the judgment of knowledge, the courtship of battle. Spirit's telling me that on the spiritual realm, these things that have been occurring here on the earth have had a purpose, and they have helped us spin our destiny forward. I want to see what's here. Let's look. There, that's what I was just talking about, okay? So, helping us spin our destiny forward in order to be able to create our ability to go back and forth, and that's what we've been doing. And, the other thing that's coming through is the shift has happened. The shift in energy has happened, right? Even though we still see this baloney going on here on the earth, right? This is the king of art. Okay? The king of art. Standing with this exalted vision, he's got his personal power. That's what the spear is. Very strong in himself. See, he doesn't really have weapons, right? He's activated. right in the center, in the core of his being, activated by the spiral of life. And that's the message. He has the capacity to see back and forth and travel back and forth across the veil. And he travels with the raven. You know, raven is a shapeshifter. Ah, yep, okay. Thank you, Spirit, for being patient with me. Here's the message. I'm going to put the card down, okay? Whew. Yeah, we have been shape-shifting back and forth and back and forth and back and forth through all of these eons. In order to arrive here, Spirit's telling me to do this, okay? In order to arrive here. And we're here now as a collective through this journey. And, you know, each one of us has had the journey that we chose, depending on what you believe, as an individual, and because of our astrological set point. That is then, it's funny, the word I'm hearing is complicated, you know, further elucidated by our cultural heritage, our religious background, the time in which we come through and grow up and develop our opinions based on the society we're in. And so this back and forth, this shape-shifting back and forth has been to meld all of that together to help us understand and remember our actual beginning. Our actual beginning. See the blending of this male and female sacred energy? That's where we're going back to. Okay? We've been on this journey. I want to see what's here. I'm very curious. So it's a very sort of sweet, loving energy here. Yeah, there we go. Going back. All right, so this is the elopement of skill. I'm going to show it to you in a minute. Hang on for a second. Again, I want to review. We have the courtship of knowledge, this combat of knowledge, judgment of knowledge, courtship of battle, with the King of Art, helping us shapeshift back and forth across the eons. That's the message I'm literally getting, and that's why this is here over the top. 5,000 years and more is what I'm hearing of sacred history. 5,000 years and more, Aquarius. Originating from the sacred triple mother. Do you see? Shape-shifting back and forth. That is the elopement of skill. And that's what we've been doing, okay? It is your outcome, but it is, again, a part of the main message. That's what Spirit's telling me, okay? The elopement of skill. Look at the beautiful golden light. Two people, a man and a woman, joining of male and female energy. Do you see how that's reflected right there? Spirit told me, put it down. Do you see? Here and here and here. That's the message, okay? That is what, okay, so there's a story about this, and I've been talking long, so I'm not going to tell you the whole story. But there were two sacred lovers. They had to shapeshift, actually, and go through several forms of rebirth because of some, interestingly enough, because of some nonsense that was going on in the background of their lives, causing them to have to regestate and rebirth in order to actually finally be together. And in the moment when they were finally able to be together, they joined their sacred energy and they actually ascended out through a portal in the roof of the building they were in. How about that for an outcome message? That's giving me a shiver, actually. So, here on Earth, we did get, oh, one more thing. We did get a portal, didn't we? If you have not seen the Ring of Fire eclipse reading that I did in February, please go to the playlist on my channel and watch those videos about the eclipses of the moon. The last one opened a portal. Quite literally, there was a ring of fire around the moon at the moment of the new moon, pardon me, at the end of February. A portal has opened, and you are ascending into your spiritual destiny. That is the message, and that is the outcome, okay? That is incredible, Aquarius. It's amazing how your energy of Aquarius, you know, there's a lot of destiny that's written, a lot of prophecy about the age of Aquarius, and we're here. And you see the ways in which you're leading us forward? Having shape-shifted back and forth. And what's really interesting and exciting to me in a certain way about this is that you see all this sort of human-esque energy, this battle above, shape-shifting back and forth. And what is below now is all the spiritual energy. That's very exciting. That literally indicates a new set point developing here. And you're just being shown the story because this is where you live now. Okay? This is it. Aquarius, thank you for spending your time with me today. If you want a reading to see how this affects your life, and given the, the things that might be going on for you still, okay? Please send me an email to the address listed in the description box. I would love to fit you into the schedule. The readings have been amazingly profound, very, very deep and beautiful. And, I have dedicated myself to this effort, so I am available. And I would love to fit you into the schedule. I do have time for you. So Aquarius, again, thank you so much for what you are doing and for being in this leadership position, having brought our destiny forward through this back and forth, this shape-shifting back and forth across the veil over these many, many eons, leading the way energetically for us to shift and change. Thank you, Aquarius. I'm really sending my love and my appreciation out to you this month. And I'll be looking forward to seeing you in June when all the planets that are in retrograde go forward. It's going to be an exciting moment.